Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. For those who love watching our African movies, I know most of you love the Nollywood, but if you take a moment and watch some of our African movies, especially from Nigeria, you'll realize that most of those movies start by someone planning evil against a friend or a relative in the society. Then things move on, and by the time the movie is ending, the person who was planning evil is dying, and before he does that, he confesses. After taking people round and round, making the other person mad or poor or something, they end up confessing. Most of the times, it is too late for them. If they are not rescued by the power of God, they confess and they die. The story behind Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment is like the movie that I'm talking about, because it started by Rigathi Gachagua saying he had placed traps in Statehouse so that Raila would not be there. He was waking up very early in the morning, going to work, telling people that no one would go to the streets to protest against their government, and if anyone dared, then he would do something that no one will ever think of a protest in this country. Then later, we hear them complaining Rigathi planning he was infiltrating Gen Z's protests to overturn his government. Then Rigathi tells us that Ruto wanted to kill him. Ruto had sent some NIS to poison his food. Then Raila and the group plan to unceremoniously impeach Rigathi Gachagua because ostensibly he is tribal. Then Rigathi goes home. As we speak now, those who impeached Rigathi Gachagua are now making a confession and they regret. They are saying that Rigathi Gachagua was never tribal as we thought. But this is something that they were warned. I remember people telling ODM and the group, the UDA group that ganged up to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, that you cannot sign it as William Ruto and you want to pretend that Rigathi is more tribal than Ruto. If they have to go, let both of them go. If you want to retain them, let them work up to 2027. Thereafter, they will know what to do. Robert Alai is saying something that is very funny. And I want us to read Robert Alai. Then we watch a member from the Meru community, a leader, a member of parliament, who was saying that the only reason why we impeached Rigathi Gachagua is because we were told that if we impeach Rigathi, then we were going to replace him with Kithure Kindiki. Without that, we would have impeached Rigathi Gachagua.
We believed as Meru MPs that number 2 is supposed to take that place of number 1. So we signed on strength that Kindiki is going to be appointed as NDP. But from the time we passed that impeachment, things are not as they were. There is a lot of lobbying from various sectors of societies. A number of tribes, communities are lobbying to have their own, to be number 2. I'm concerned because you see now, we are hearing of somebody like Irungu Kenyatta. They're even calling us, they're robbing us to support them. There is also a majority leader, Kimani Ichung'wah. There is Anne Waiguru, the women caucus of governors. They are up in arms, saying that according to the speech of William Ruto, president, and he promised them that the next deputy president will be a woman. They're also mentioning Grandes Wanga, and also sometimes they even bring the name of Raila Odinga in the scene. So when they bring all those things in Kimeru, is what we say, Mambura ya kuyanyenje. Mambura ya kuyanyenje is not straightforward as it was. So I'm so much concerned that there are those other players who have come in the scene. See? So it shouldn't be as that rumors and as it was at that time, because he was number 2. Let's number 2 take from number 1, because number 1 has been impeached as the deputy president.
Now tell me the difference of what this member of parliament was talking about after they impeached Rigathi Gachagua. If that is not tribalism, Then this is what Allah is saying. Why did we remove Gachagua for being tribalist, then go ahead and bring Uhuru, who just practiced deeper tribalism from Ishaweri? Why replace Gachagua with another villager from Ishaweri? Nyeri was the problem or what? Tell me, can Alai tell us that he didn't know what was happening? Because what is hurting Alai is that we said Gachagua was a tribalist because he was ever talking about Mount Kenya. He was telling them that every politics is local, and he was saying that charity begins at home. Now, they impeach Gachagua, and they are told they are now in government. They are now major shareholders. And they thought they were pulling the strings. Then William Ruto realizes that something is happening here. The ODM now feels entitled because the ODM is saying we have stabilized the government, and they're even demanding for more positions, the interior, more principal secretaries. And then Ruto, times when Raila is campaigning for the AU seat, then he makes appointments, and ODM loses out on the interior that they had demanded publicly. And William Ruto brings Uhuru with more seats, and they're saying Uhuru picked only his Kikuyu tribesmen and his friends. And Allah is asking, what is the difference between Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta? The answer is very simple. Just like Gachagua was fighting for his people, just like the ODM was fighting for his people, just like Natembeya keep on saying that Luhya needs to unite so that whenever decisions are being made, they are on the table, is the same thing Uhuru Kenyatta did. Every politician is tribal. You can never tell me that there isn't any politician who is not tribal. It was malicious from the word go impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. Listen to what Umosh 1 hour is saying about ODM and their pain after William Ruto brought in Uhuru Kenyatta. It will tell you that the reason why the ODM is complaining is because they thought they would have more. But now the broad-based government has become broader. More people are coming in. Uhuru si mtu mzuri. Uhuru si mtu mzuri. Uhuru si mtu mzuri. Wewe ni mnani? Tumepigwa 10-0. Sahi. Pasia 12 Mount Kenya. Raila kadanganywa. Kapewa 4. Tukacheka. Tukakula na tukakunywa. Kumbe tunapimwa. Wanatupima hewa. Mwambia chukua mjenga peleke hiyo. Tunapima huko. Tunadhani tulikuwa nadhani tumepata, kumbe tumepatwa. Mr. Speaker. It's so sad, Mr. Speaker. Mimi niko na 100 Raila Amolo Odinga atapata kiti ya AU. Nimepunguza. Mr. Speaker, nimepunguza. Wale tu wataki apate AU wamechukuliwa. Wameongezwa kwa serikali. I can assure you everyone is selfish. Everyone is looking at their people, their brothers, their tribesmen. That is what has been exposed, if we have to speak the truth. And therefore, it was malicious, it was very unnecessary impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. If we had any other charges leveled against him, we would have understood. But impeaching Rigathi Gachagua on the basis that he was tribal, no. Yes, he was. But is there anyone? Because it has been proved that every politician, every person is tribal. Unless we wake up, unless we stop burying our heads in the sand like the proverbial ostrich and decide in one accord that we want to fight tribalism, not trying to sanitize some people because they have given us positions, and then we want to smear campaign on others because we want to betray them. This was pure betrayal. And like the Nigerian movie I'm talking about, someone is confessing because Allah is now saying, why do we remove someone from Nyeri and we bring in someone from Kiambu? They are both practicing tribalism, all of us. And if you've seen the pain that William Ruto is going through, trying to fill this hole that he dug by impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, giving more seats to Mount Kenya just to try and pacify, just to try and apologize to them. Mount Kenya is saying, even if you are going to resuscitate the first founding father, Jomo Kenyatta, and make a handshake with him, we are not going to board because you betrayed us once bitten, twice shy. A lie's confession is a true confession. Many people now understand that Rigathi's impeachment was malicious. There was no way we wanted to sanitize the driver and we kick out the conductor. In Meru, things are not working. Kiretu Murungi yesterday said they are going to have a stakeholders meeting in January and they are going to chart their own political way and they will make the country know, because they are saying when William Ruto appointed people from Mount Kenya, it was purely Mount Kenya West. Meru, that had been segregated as Mount Kenya East, was forgotten. Malicious. In a bid to unite the country is divided even further, telling you that from the word go, the intention was never right. Everyone is fighting for self-aggrandizement. And I could be wrong, but the country is never united. I could be wrong, but it was not a good idea to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. William Ruto should have tolerated this man up to 2027, because Rigathi was speaking, saying that they were shareholders, but everyone in this government is practicing the very thing that Rigathi was saying. It has backfired. It has just started. I love the fact that people are now coming out to confess that it was not the best idea to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. You are warned, msiguze Murima. Now you see, Murima iguzwi tena.